welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the different seasons of life and how we grow through it. I'm your host Wen, and as per usual, be sure to stick to the end for a little bonus. And this bonus is extra special because this episode just feels so connected to the universe. I don't know. I just feel like as I'm channeling through messages, this is exactly what someone needs to hear. Okay, so if you have been loving the podcast episodes, do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. Now, onto today's episode is a very highly requested one ever since episode 31 was released, where I give you my perspective on how staying single by choice after my last breakup until I've healed completely has helped me tremendously, which is also why I would think it's perhaps better for once to stay single until you have completely healed. So if you're in your single era, or you feel ashamed of being single, or you feel like a need to rush into the next relationship after your breakup, give episode 31 a listen. It's one of the most listened podcasts on our live seasons, okay? Loads of golden nuggets in there, if I were to say so myself. So it's insane the amount of people that are still struggling to heal from a heartbreak and find themselves constantly stuck in this pain and not being able to move on. So today's topic is very much needed for the ones who are fresh from a breakup, literally going through a breakup right now, or have been in the breakup cycle for a few weeks, few months now, and you still find yourself not getting any better. Perhaps each day you miss your ex a little bit more, refusing to call them your ex because deep down within you, you hope that one day they will realize how worthy you are and they will want you back in their life. Perhaps you're even going onto TikTok or YouTube to search videos like, how to manifest someone back into your life and doing all the work that they say and still feel miserable. Sweetheart, let me tell you, if you feel caught up, good. As someone who truly wants the best for you, and the fact that this episode has actually found you, this is no coincidence that somewhere in this episode today, there is a message that the universe wants you to know. And all I know is that it's definitely not for you to manifest that person back or take this as a sign that they are your soulmate, because they are not. And this is not the episode to feed that thought. I know Valentine's Day is just around the corner and it might not be the best time for you. It might just be the hardest time for you, seeing people celebrating love on social media or just on the streets, and maybe you feel like fear or you dread the arrival of 14th February, wondering how you're actually gonna get through that day. You feel alone, not knowing what to do. Now, let me tell you what I did on my first Valentine's Day after my breakup. Okay, for the first time, I actually celebrated with my friend. We went out and I enjoyed my Galentine's, focusing on appreciating the love that I get from my friend and the people who actually cared for me and who are still here for me. If your friend are attached or you just don't feel like heading out, an option is to listen to this podcast again on the 14th of February so I can keep you company. And by all means, don't go on social media if you don't feel like it. Just being alone and being in your own company, okay, that might be the best for you. Don't go into something that you know that you've trigger some sort of emotion or reaction out of you. So stay out of social media if that's what you need to do. Okay? If it comforts you to know that I am choosing to spend this coming Valentine's Day with my family members, because guess what? Valentine's Day is not only for couples, okay? It is a day to celebrate love with anyone and everyone of your choice. Also, I always believe that every single day should be Valentine's Day. Every single day should be a day that we celebrate love and appreciate the people that are around us, okay? And before I dive into this topic of how to get over someone, I want you to know the fact that you clicked onto this deep within you, I can be certain that you know it's time to let go. You just don't know how to, and you have a lot of doubts about your abilities to heal and to actually be happy or be loved again. But that's exactly also the reason why the universe brought us together through this episode, for me to tell you that whatever you're feeling right now is validated. But the universe wants to show you a different side of you, a side that you may not believe you can have now, but is actually made possible for you. Okay? So if you feel called out to watch or listen to this podcast episode, this is meant for you. I am no psychic, but I am very intuitive, and I know for sure that this episode will only be a life-changing episode for some people. It's not for all, okay? I can feel it. And for the selected few people, after listening to this podcast, I hope that you can actually send me a DM to let me know that you are that chosen few. I want to celebrate with you. Okay, Now that those who are not aligned to this episode have already dropped off, let's get onto today's episode or today's topic on how you're actually going to start making the conscious effort to get over that person and heal from your heartbreak. How to heal from a breakup podcast or videos you've listened to at this point? I just want to ask you, is it a lot? Like if you're still asking this question of how you can actually heal from a breakup, it only tells me one thing, and that is you're not actually wanting to heal. You just want to feel the feelings of healing and trick your mind to thinking that you're healing. And I don't care if you're angry at me right now or if you hate me for saying this, I'm still gonna say it, okay? Because I truly want you to actually start healing and get to a point where you're truly happy with your growth, with your healing journey, because I'm here now and I was where you were last year. I want to tell you that it is possible, but you first got to believe that this path is made possible for you too. You just gotta start accepting the situation and know that it's in the past now. That relationship, that ex, that memory that you guys shared, the good and the bad, it stays in the past. Are you ready for some tough love? It's time to move forward, creating your version of the future and no one else's, okay? Start healing because you truly want to find the best version of yourself, the happiest version of you. And yes, that can be the single version of you. You don't need anyone to make you feel loved or happy, and I need you to start understanding that. The fact that you're still listening to this is because deep down, I know your intuition is screaming at you to take responsibility of your feelings and not sit in your room and cry and blame, still trying to process the situation. Taking action is how you process, okay? Not sitting and replaying the whole scenario and memories all over in your mind like a broken record. Remember, nothing changes when nothing changes. This is where your masculine part, the doing, takes over. The first change is to take action to start moving forward. Baby steps are better than no steps, okay? Let this be the episode that actually get you to start your healing journey instead of it just being one of the many podcasts that you play as a background noise to drown out your negative thoughts. Let's start by addressing the emotions that you have right now or however long since your actual breakup, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is to feel your feelings. It's very common for us to avoid feeling certain emotions, especially the pain from a heartbreak. We go through like different emotional cycles of upset, anger, blame, and then into pain again. We try ways to make it better by either entering another relationship or clubbing, drinking it off, doing something that is out of the norm in hopes that this pain will go away, which I can tell you that it usually always turns out to be 10 times more painful after the alcohol of whatever distraction that you sort of wears off, okay? Maybe when you express your emotions, you were once told that, you're so weak, you're so needy, you're too much, why are you so emotional? Your emotions are not being validated, and you start to believe in this story of maybe suppressing your emotions and running away from it means that you won't have to feel them and they don't exist. This avoidance will not get you anywhere, and I'm sure by now you know that for something to be completely healed, you got to face it head on. Your feelings are only temporary when you choose to feel it and work through it. But your feelings become permanent when you choose to run from it. Nothing ever gets resolved from avoidance, okay? So my first advice for healing is to start allowing yourself to feel your emotions. Promise yourself that no matter how painful it is, how long it takes, how helpless you feel, never run away from it. Feel it. Embrace it. Feel the aching pain that is still lingering from the last conversation. Feel the breathless moments from all the tears that has been shed over since the breakup. Feel your heart shattering into pieces. Feel the love that you have for that person. Feel the anger of abandonment. Feel the confusion from that unexpected breakup. Feel the loneliness and isolation from losing that person. Feel the fear and anxiety from the thought of possibly not finding love ever again. Feel the rejection from that person. There's nothing scary about feeling your feelings. What's scary is that you allowing your feelings to marinate and eat you up, to lose your spark, to make you feel like your feelings are not validated, to make you stop believing in love anymore, to make you stay in your trauma and allow it to take over your life, okay? Remember, this is the power that you hold. You have control over how your feeling takes effect on your life, not allowing your ex or someone whom you're trying to get over to have control over how you feel and what you do with these emotions. This is your power, okay? Detach yourself from whatever happens after your breakup. That's why I mentioned in episode 31 that going no contact is very essential to the process. You don't see what they're up to, you don't care who they're with, whether or not they've moved on. Thinking about them being with someone else is not going to help you. What's going to help you is to focus on healing yourself, and that should be your only priority, okay? With that said, I want you to look at your environment right now. Just take a look at, wherever you are right now, specifically your room. Are there any tissues lying around from one of your sobbing sessions last night? Are your windows closed, lights off, and you curling in bed whole day? When was the last time you actually changed out of that depressing sleepwear which is covered in tear marks? Are you still surrounded with items that reminds you of the relationship? See all that? Yup. Those are exactly the reason why you have yet started to feel like things are getting better. Clear them out now. Clear out the energy in your room. Your energy determines how your day is going to go, how you want to feel, and what you want to attract. So if you don't want any of this pain and heartbreaking energy, cleanse your space, okay? Take a day to remove items out of your sight. You don't allow yourself to even have a chance of reminiscing anything. And I don't want to hear any excuses of why you can't, or you're not ready yet, or that you're keeping it because you think that they might come back to collect it from you. Whatever bullshit. Yes, I'm calling your bullshit out for you. You know, and I know you do, that by clearing things out, it means you gotta face the fact that this chapter of your life has come to an end, and you don't want that. It's tough, I know, but that's the way to healing. Brutal, but it's the only way that I've actually found helpful. I would love to tell you that there is an easier way to do this, but nope, okay? Keep those items in a box. Throw them away, whatever it is, just keep it off your sight. After that's done, you move on to cleansing your mental space, your head space. Whether it's meditating, listening to podcasts, journal, read, whatever it is that works best for you, I want you to get back to the activities that you used to love doing. It is time to shift the focus back onto you. Okay, I want you to douse into self-help, self-love podcasts that are just helping you to occupy your mind, okay? There are some that are really helpful for me during my breakup season. Podcasts like, Date Yourself Instead, I Missed Me, Busy Yet Pretty, those are really good podcasts. You might not feel like listening to it right now, but trust me, just keep listening. At least one episode per day. Do it while you're commuting, washing the dishes, walking your dog, or even on your treadmill. I want you to swap out your breakup playlist to podcast episodes like this ones, okay? You might not fully absorb everything at the start, which is fine, but keep going. Consistency and discipline is key to really moving yourself forward. It will be forceful at the start, and that is fine, right? Keep going, and before you know it, you're going to find yourself actually listening to the podcast and slowly shifting your perspective. Your mind will need to be occupied from the unconscious thoughts that you have been having or running your mind like a habit because you want it to be that way. But you might as well take this as an advantage or take this as an opportunity to fill it up with good stuff, to occupy your mind with good stuff. And I like to call them mind medicines, which actually will help you work through your emotions and help you to heal, okay? I want you to pause this episode right now and go do it. Come back later. Because I'm going to preface by saying that whatever I'm about to say in this episode or in this podcast actually works, okay? And I know it works. So if you're not serious about healing, don't waste your time. Just the thought of healing is not enough. I'm speaking to those people who are really truly tired of this whiny, sobby mess that they are in. It's the tiredness from bawling your eyes out that healing becomes a survival need instead of a good to have. Okay? Now that that's out of the way, I want to talk about the concept of love and give you a perspective on love, my perspective on love. It may be very different from what you've heard from other relationship podcasters or creators, but listen, okay? I like to think of love as a very simple concept. It creeps up on you and you won't even know you're in love until you have this sudden realization of, oh my god, this is exactly what I've always wanted, and it gets to be easy. That's why you always hear love stories about, how they never actually expected to meet their partner for life that way, and it just happens when they're focusing on themselves. Love only comes when you're in flow, when you know exactly what is it that you want. You know that the love that you crave for can be satisfied by no one but you, and everything else is just a bonus. Love is not about compromising, it's about understanding and communicating with your partner regardless of how bad the situation is. Love is about daringly expressing your needs, wants, desires, and expectations without feeling bad or being told that you're asking for too much, okay? Love gets to be easy. It gets to feel easy. It's not something that you need to chase after or beg for someone to give it to you, because you simply can give that to yourself. Most importantly, love is about loving yourself first before anyone else. It's about not expecting anyone to love you more than you love yourself. True love is when someone reciprocates the love that you have for yourself back to you. Not because you ask them to, but because seeing how you love yourself makes them happy and contented. The universe will only send the right person into our lives at the right time to teach us the lessons that we need to learn for the season of our life, okay? I always believe that everyone serves a purpose in our life. Like it or not, it's not fully up to us to decide if that person gets to stay or leave. So refer to episode 11 that I talk about it a little bit more from there. But whatever you are going through, you are most definitely capable of growing through it, because the universe will only give you situations that you have the power to overcome, and not give you situations based on what you think you can overcome, because we have this habit of shortchanging ourselves, okay? Now, I'm sure you have actually heard of this concept of right person, wrong time. To me, I don't vibe with that. It's wrong person, wrong time, right person, right time. Okay, let me know if you want me to deep dive into this into this topic, because oh boy, this concept, I have so much to talk about and I can talk on and on about it. Okay, but I'm gonna just say, having this mindset of right person, wrong time will only allow us to be in this delusional state of hoping that they will come back, which then allows us to constantly live in this past relationship that was never meant to work out for you, okay? And because we hold on to that hope so tightly, we unknowingly inflict more pain on ourselves, because living in the past means that you don't allow yourself to move forward, to be excited about the future, and so you are stuck in this constant loop of hopelessness and waiting for the open inverted right time for them to come back into your life. And by all means, I support being delulu, right? Only if it helps you to grow and gets you closer to your desires. But this is not the case. Being delusional by thinking that you need the right person and you gotta wait for the time will actually be detrimental to your mental health, okay? Now, sometimes things end without a proper closure and you find yourself feeling a need to seek some sort of closure, whether or not it's through face-to-face or hour-long calls of explanations of some sort. But the thing about closure is that we don't need it before moving on, okay? You can heal and move on with life without closure, without understanding the why it happened or why it ended. If you're ghosted or your breakup ended abruptly without any explanation, know that no answer is still an answer. Sometimes the answer that you receive might not be the answer that you are looking for, and that's okay. Sometimes not knowing the answer is actually better than having an answer, which allows you to spiral and turn into this unnecessary self-doubt and insecurities, okay? It might just be a blessing in disguise of not having an answer. You gotta understand that sometimes you just can't carry everyone and everything into the next chapter of your life. These people are just not meant to be part of the next seasons of your life, so just let them go. Let yourself go. Don't seek closure. Seek comfort in knowing that the universe has removed this person out of your life for a reason. That reason might not be obvious at the start, or you might not understand why, but trust that one day you will eventually understand. Know that a healing journey requires a lot of trust and faith between you and the universe. I've said this before and I will say this again. If you're not willing to take the first step, which is to having an intention to heal, wanting to feel better, no one else can do this for you. Not the universe, not this podcast, not me, not your ex. No one else. You, okay? You hold the power to your story and how it ends. If you want your story to end with you being heartbroken and entering a stage in your life where you feel like you can't live without the person, guess what? That is exactly how the ending of your story is going to turn out. But if you decide that the ending is going to be you having your biggest glow up yet and turning this heartbreak into a positive force for growth and self-love, this ending will be magical. Whatever path you go down and whatever the ending is, know that it is a choice and it is your choice. And reframing your narrative is the most important choice I want you to make today. Let's start with, your choice of words, okay? Especially the I am narratives. I'm depressed, I'm not lovable, I'm broken, I'm abandoned, I'm lost. No, no, no. Okay, stop using these words because you are what you say and think you are. Start replacing them with narratives that actually helps. Okay, stop saying I don't know and start saying I don't know how, but I will be guided. Stop saying I wasn't good enough and start saying I deserve to be happy, I'm worthy of love. Stop saying, why did this happen? And start saying, I trust that it happened for a reason. What can I do today to feel better, even if it's the smallest step forward? Stop saying, I'm broken, I'm unlovable, I'll never find someone else. Start saying, I'm capable of healing. I will learn to love myself first before anyone can. Stop saying, I don't know if I'll ever heal from this, and start saying, it may not feel like it now, but I know I'll get there. Stop saying, I can't live without him or her, I don't know how to move on from this relationship, and start saying, there is a version of me prior to this relationship that I've lived it before, so I can do it again. Stop saying, I miss them so much, and start saying, I just miss the feeling of being loved and I am capable of giving that love back to myself. So see how all this change of narrative can actually change the way you feel. It affects the way you feel. So here's a mantra that I want you to repeat daily. Okay, are you ready for the mantra? I am committed to healing. I don't know how, but I know I will. Your choice of words sends a signal to your mind that controls the way you feel and eventually affects your actions. So if you're asking how to get over, chances are you have been giving a part of yourself to a person, a relationship, that you neglect yourself and you put yourself last. I want you to know that in the midst of all this pain lies the person that craves love. Not the love from someone else, but the love from yourself. And it is time to pick up the pieces. Pieces of you that got left behind while loving someone else, prioritizing someone else and neglecting yourself. That's why this heartbreak is so unbearable, because you not only lose someone, but most importantly, you lost your identity, and that is what's causing all this pain and confusion. Instead of focusing on your ex or the breakup, I want you to put the focus back on yourself and start learning to heal from it. It's been long since you take care of yourself. So take this time to pour the love and attention back to yourself. You gotta want yourself first before expecting someone else to, okay? One thing I need for you to understand is that no matter how long it is, you'll never actually stop loving someone, okay? Which means you'll never actually fully get over someone, completely forgetting them. You just learn to live without them. You don't stop loving the person. It's just a different type of love. This love is a love that you have for everyone. The love that you send them for allowing this breakup to help you see a different version of you. The love from gratitude. The love from having faith that one day you'll meet your person. The love from loving yourself again. It gets better. It really does. I promise you that. I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but I don't know how else to tell you or how else to say it in a way that you can start to believe that everything that has happened in your life are meant to work out, and it will eventually work out in a way that's best possible for you. It all leads us to a path closer to our goals, our specific partner, our dreams, even though it may look like chaos or the complete opposite right now. But because you trust the universe enough to know that it's not going to mess you up, and there has to be a reason for everything that's ever happened to you, including this breakup, you learn to release control, and guess what else is being released? Your anger, your heartache, and your exes. Release everything that is no longer serving your higher good, okay? It's time to come home to yourself, and let's start by forgiving. Forgive yourself, forgive them. Everyone is a reflection of you. Find out the unhealed parts of yourself, which is reflected through what you dislike about the person. Oftentimes, there are people that triggers this unhealed side of you and take it as an alarm to start working on these parts of you that is holding yourself back from reaching the highest version of you, the happiest version of you. You gotta start prioritizing your wants and needs. What do you truly want and love doing? What is it that makes you happy? Not someone, but you. Who do you wanna be? Discover your hobby and your passion. Learn to live for yourself with yourself, okay? I know this might be the last thing that's on your mind, especially when everything seems like it's crashing down on you. I want to share this theory with you. Whenever you feel like your life is in shambles, the next journey that comes will always be a miracle. And I've experienced it multiple times, which I've shared it in episode 28, where I wrap up, my 2023 and each month's highlight. Let me give you one example, okay? In my last relationship of 4 years, I had this sudden realization that I don't see myself spending the rest of my life with my ex, and there were a lot of reasons why. Our personal values were very different. Our interests were vastly different as well. Vision of what our future looks like just weren't aligning, and there are so many more. And all this came to a surface as we grew, right? And this realization made me super uncomfortable and shocked. I knew something was wrong. I, quote unquote, wasn't even supposed to feel this way. I had countless of sleepless nights trying to understand where are all this coming from, because this was someone that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And now that I realize that I don't want to, or rather I don't see myself spending the rest of my life with him, it's very shocking. I knew deep down that this was my intuition telling me that it's not working out. And I know that the best way was to end the relationship, but I didn't know how. Because it's not like he's cheated or there's any reason for me to end the relationship, right? So I spoke to my mom about it. She told me to pray. And that was what I did. I prayed to the universe. This is exactly what I said, and I remember this so clearly. I said, "Dear universe, I don't know why you gave me this sudden realization. I am scared shitless. I am really confused. I don't know how to tell him about this. So if he's not meant to be in my life, please intervene and let everything make sense. Let everything fall into place." And this was exactly what I said. I'm not going to go into details of what actually happened next out of respect for him. But many months later, he initiated the breakup by telling me, "You'll find someone better." I know. Despite knowing that this wasn't going to work out, that I had prayed to have the universe intervention, I still pleaded for us to work things out because I wanted to stay in where I was comfortable at, which is this 4-year relationship, and my default instinct was to hold on to what has been working for 4 years, and the idea of just not giving up on things. I bawled my eyes out, and when I say I bawled, I really did when he told me that. And I remember saying to him, like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna find someone better. Oh boy, was I so wrong. And I'm not saying this because I found someone, but because now that I've healed and know my expectations and standards, I know that yes, I am gonna find someone that fits into my life better. But anyways, I felt like my heart was ripping into pieces, and yes, my world felt like everything came crashing down. My mind was just running wild. I was thinking, what's gonna happen to me after this? Like, will I ever find love again? What happens next? I don't want to be going through the whole phase of getting to know someone just to go through this heartbreak again. So these were the thoughts that was just running crazy in my mind. It's intense. I know that you know what I'm talking about, because chances of you being, at this spot and not knowing how to get out of it is the reason why you're still listening to this, right? And we then kind of tried to work things out for some time, and one day, amongst all the pain and chaos I was facing in life, I was finally tired. I was tired of being a second choice. I was tired of chasing after love, begging for love. I was tired of allowing someone to have power over how I felt. How my day was gonna, go depend on whether or not he gave me his attention. I missed a version of myself. The girl who was always so positive. The girl who believed that she could have anything that she ever wanted. The girl who dared to dream big. The girl who knew her priorities and potentials. The girl whose self-worth was overflowing. The girl who was confident enough to speak her mind. The girl who was powerful and knew what she wanted. The girl who does not give a damn about validation from others. The girl who is very intuitive and is not afraid to embrace the spiritual side of her. I lost her. She was gone. At least that was what I thought. But she was just tucked away in a little corner deep within me while I tried to people please and compromise, and I knew I needed to get her back. I knew she was screaming to be heard, to be seen by me. It was no one else's fault but mine. I forgave myself and I took responsibility. That day, my purpose went from trying to become someone that people wanted me to become to finding her back, to reassuring her that I will be taking care of her now, that it's okay. I decided that the relationship wasn't going to work out, so it never meant to work out. And no matter how hard we try, and in order for me to feel better again, I know that I needed to let this go because the love wasn't the same anymore. We clearly outgrew the relationship and was onto a very different life path, one where our paths will never cross. What I want to say is that all these heartaches eventually turned into the most beautiful version of me, of life. I glowed up. Sounds crazy, I know. The journey to getting where I am today is not easy, but it made me so much stronger. It turned out exactly how it was supposed to be because now I'm able to sit here and walk you through this pain. So know that you're not going to heal until you decide to actually heal. And if you need a push to know your self-worth, last week's episode 33, is going to do just that for you. So please use this heartbreak as a sign for you to glow up, not for your ex, but for yourself, to become better and stronger than you've ever been before, for you. Okay? I don't think people realize how powerful a broken heart can be. So go on to this healing journey, and I promise you'll find this glowed up version of you that heals not only your heart but the different parts of your life too: your career, your friendships, relationship with yourself, people you attract into your life, your finances, lifestyle, etc. Part of my glow up was to learn to be alone and enjoy my own company, which I talked about the whole process in episode 6 of Being Alone But Never Lonely. So listen to it if you want to know how. So during this period of healing, I want you to pour the love back to yourself. The love that you crave for so badly from someone, give it to yourself. After your heart breaks, the love for yourself that slipped over time slowly starts to come back, because all the love that you were giving to the wrong person has nowhere to go but back home to you. Okay, you slowly realize how strong you are. You learn how to make yourself happy, how to just be your own person. You laugh again, you smile again. You're surrounded by people that really care about you, and you know it's genuine. You feel happy. It's a different kind of happy that you've never felt before. You feel proud of yourself because you've pulled yourself through your lowest moment. You won't let anyone take advantage of your kind heart like that again, because you know better now. You learn so much from your heartbreak, and you'll never be quite the same again, but in the best way possible. You can't help but feel proud of yourself because you turned something that has been torn into pieces into a whole new level of yourself, into a piece of art. Know that when you start healing, people will start crawling back into your life, and I like to see this as a checkpoint from the universe to say that, wow, I've actually really healed and have learned to value and put myself first. Because remember, when you heal, the energy that you vibrate on is so high and magnetizing that people want to be around you. Not only your ex, but others as well. That's why we get so attracted to people who are positive, who love themselves, who are confident enough, because all of this are high vibrational energy that everyone wants to be around, including us. But remember what I said in episode 33 about protecting your energy. Not everyone gets to be in your energy, okay? They have to prove that they are not energy suckers through their actions and not words. So chances that an ex comes requesting to come back into your life is not because they've changed, but it's because you're actually doing so well in healing parts of yourself that they want this version of you, and the chances are very high. Okay, you've taken the time to heal, so don't go back to where you were before. Those heartbreaks and pain, we don't want that. Don't be tempted to go back to the situation or ex that no longer serves you. Always remember why it ended, and it ended for a reason. Don't do yourself a disservice by accepting someone into your life clearly, or someone that clearly does not serve your higher self. Okay, you've spent the time and effort to heal yourself, to work on your self-worth, and to go back to someone or anyone that choose to give up on you in the first place is just not a vibe. Okay, it's just not doing yourself any justice. So stop letting someone or people who still have a long way in their self-development journey to hinder your growth progress. Like I said in episode 32, no one is ever worth losing your peace over. Okay, now not many have stayed till this far, especially I know it's a long one. So if you have made till this far, I know you're serious, and I'm very excited for you to even think about what's the possibility for you, even though you may feel like it's insane. But a perspective from being on the other side of a heartbreak, I can't wait for you to see how good it gets. And I know that this year is going to be your year just based on how committed you are. So as promised, here's a little bonus for you, okay? It's a letter from me to you, or rather a letter from the universe channeling through me to you. You ready? Alright. Dear you who's healing, you're trying to heal, and that itself is commendable. Have faith that one day there will be someone out there who will walk with you because you love walking, who will sit and listen to you go on and on for hours about your favorite plot from a movie or the things that lights you up because they just love to see you in your happy place. There will be someone out there who will show you what true love looks like if you give them a chance to, because they are just such loving people. There will be someone out there who will love you the way you deserve to be loved. You will not have to chase, to beg and please, because it all comes naturally. There will be someone out there who you won't have to ask for reciprocation because you have a mutual understanding that love goes both ways. On days that you're on 60%, I'll be the extra 40% for you. On days that I am on 60%, you're willing to give the extra 40% for me because this is how much love we have for each other. There will be someone who will love you in all your love languages, even without you asking. Someone who will give you everything to the best of their abilities, not because you ask for it, but because they just want to. There will be someone out there who will show you that love is an unspoken language. The silent I love yous in small gestures. Like, I know you've probably not eaten, so I got you a sandwich. It's, you seem a little off today. Let me know if you need some time alone. It's taking photo of a marshmallow bag and sending you a text that says, I saw this and it reminds me of the time that we spent camping together and we had so much laughter from burnt marshmallows. There will be someone out there who will vibe with you on so many levels and make the effort to be interested in what you're interested in. There will be someone out there who will promise you the world and actually deliver it to you, and because they want to know and they know how it feels like to be lied to, so they don't want you to feel that way. There will be someone out there who will go on an extra mile for you because they know how happy you would be and they are just happy to see you happy. That someone exists. You just gotta focus on loving yourself first. If you lose hope in love, please know that one day you will find the love that you deserve, so don't give up just yet. You are more lovable than you think you are. Don't change the way you feel about love just because of that one person. Don't lose hope in love because true love is the most beautiful thing that you'll ever experience. Those effortless ones. Learn to love your broken heart. Heal that part of you. Build yourself back up because no one else can but you. Those stitches and scars from your broken heart will be something you look back at one day and smile with pride. Never apologize for how you feel, for how much you love, for how much you care, for how hurt you are. All of which are validated because you say so. Seek no one else's validation but yourself. I hope you know that no one can define your worth. No one can define your personality, your love. No one can hold power over your heart and dictate how your future is gonna be like after this relationship. Only you get to define who you are, who you want to be, what love is. And I promise you, when you take back your power, you'll start finding people who are the same definition, who has the same definition of love as you. At the end of this journey, I want you to be so proud of yourself, of the way you love, and because you have actually gone through this heartbreak, you don't want anyone else to feel the way that you felt. I want you to be so proud of the way you pick yourself back up, the way you flow through the pain and let it heal parts of you, the way you speak about love now, the way you prioritize yourself now. It was because of this heartbreak you got here with your power and with the people that truly mattered. Let this be the last time that you cry for that person or that relationship. From now, I promise you that your life is going to be filled with moments of pride, with tears of joy, moments where you look back at and is shocked at how far you've come, moments where you stop to admire how beautiful your glow up has been, who you have become, this strong version of you that you have never thought you could achieve. I promise you that it's all going to be worth it. Love, universe, and when. Oof, this is intense. And I hope you feel the energy in this podcast. And I'm sending love to everyone who's on this journey of healing from a heartbreak. And I know this is especially hard, especially when, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. So I trust that this reaches you at the perfect timing. That's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, if you have any burning questions or topics that you want me to cover, please feel free to drop me a DM on Instagram at Our Life Seasons or comment on whatever platform that you're listening to, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Alright, I hope that you heal from this breakup, that this year is going to be the year that you start growing, that you start healing and finding this best version of yourself, a version that you will look back at and be so proud of yourself for achieving. Alright, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!